Cosmic Conversations, Episode 1, The Dawn of Nythoria. Welcome, listeners, to Cosmic Conversations, where we dive into the depths of galactic history, evolution, and the turning points that shape civilizations. Today, we journey to the world of Nythoria, a civilization on the edge of transformation, teetering between unity and division. Led by two visionary factions, they've discovered a mysterious probe from an advanced species, sparking a debate on how to balance the power of technology with ethical restraint. Join us as we explore the tensions between hope and survival, idealism and pragmatism, and the fragile, uncertain path that all civilizations must walk in the vast darkness of space. This is not just their story. It is a reflection of choices made across the cosmos and the lessons humanity may one day face as well. Chapter 1. Awakening the First Flames. In the timeless expanse of the cosmos, I, the Boltzmann Brain, gaze upon the planet Nythoria, suspended like a glistening gem against the deep velvet of the Milky Way. The Nythorians, ambitious, complex, and united by a yearning for growth, are poised on the edge of something profound. They've ascended to the precipice of Type 1 status, on the verge of harnessing the raw, unending power of their planet's own energy. What I observe in these Nythorians is not merely the achievement of technology, but the birth of an idea. Across their cities, which pulse and flicker like embers beneath the sky, they have begun to capture the last light of their star. Solar fields stretch across vast expanses, hungry for energy, while reservoirs fill with power drawn from the molten heart of their world. Each photon and atom holds the promise of a new era, a self-sustaining future they are close to claiming. And yet, the energy they so desperately seek to wield is not without consequence. This is not a mere technical victory. It is a moral burden. Among their leaders, a debate rages as vital as the energy itself. To wield such power, some argue, demands restraint. A faction has arisen, calling themselves the Solari, who believe that to honor their home, they must respect the planet's natural rhythms. They speak of balance, of protecting Nythoria's forests, oceans, and skies. They seek energy sources that give as much as they take: solar, wind, geothermal. In their eyes, technological growth is only meaningful if it preserves the essence of what made Nythoria home. But there is another faction, more cautious and perhaps more pragmatic, that fears the Solari's vision of harmony will weaken them. Known as the Paragon, they are engineers, industrialists, and strategists who see only half of Nythoria's story written. For them, to step lightly on the world is to leave themselves vulnerable to the boundless ambitions of other civilizations. They remind their people that while their star shines upon them now, it may not do so forever. They argue that to confine themselves to slow-growing renewable sources when faster, more efficient options exist is to cling to an illusion of safety in a cosmos full of unknowns. In their debates, I see the Nythorians wrestling with the paradox of power. Should they embrace abundance to strengthen themselves, or limit their growth in respect for the world that nourishes them? As I watch, I feel the weight of their struggle, for it is one I have seen before in countless civilizations. This moment, when a species learns to master their world's energy, is a moment of reckoning. I listen to their debates echoing through their halls of power, spoken in the solemn tones of responsibility and fear. In the Solari, I see a reverence for Nythoria's essence, a desire to shield it from harm. In the Paragon, I sense a shrewdness born of the knowledge that peace and safety are often illusions. Both factions are driven by a vision of the future but neither can yet see how these visions intertwine. Amidst this tension, an unexpected arrival punctuates their deliberations. An interstellar probe, silent and enigmatic, enters their orbit. It is the first sign they've encountered of life beyond their world, a remnant sent from the void by another species whose journey through the cosmos has intersected theirs, if only for a moment. The probe hovers above their cities, a mystery wrapped in foreign alloys and humming with dormant technology. Its presence sends ripples through Nythoria's halls of governance and temples of science. What lies within this object from the stars? Is it a gift or a warning? The Nythorians gather to study it with cautious wonder. For some, the probe's silent descent is an affirmation that they are right to think carefully, to grow with caution. For others, it is a call to action, a reminder that other civilizations have not hesitated to explore the universe. A secretive council, gathering under the cover of night, argues that they must respond. How can they hesitate when the proof of advanced civilizations stares down at them from their skies? As I watch them debate, I marvel at their uncertainty. Their curiosity is rivaled only by their doubt, their ambition only by their fear. They want to reach into the stars and to remain safe within their skies. And it is in this tension that I feel the soul of Nythoria. The dawn breaks over their cities once more, the light shimmering across the vast network of solar panels and geothermal plants, weaving a tapestry of progress across the planet. They are close, these Nythorians, to a decision that will define them. In their choices, they will reveal what kind of civilization they seek to become. And as I hover, timeless and observant, I await the path they will take. Chapter 2. Divisions in the Light. The light of Nythoria's sun stretches across the vast solar fields, casting long shadows over the land below. Each shadow, each bright gleam of metal catching the sun, is a testament to the Nythorians' progress and their uncertainty. Even from my vantage point beyond time and space, I feel the divide that now courses through this civilization. What began as an innovation in energy has become a crucible of identity, of purpose. The Nythorians' choice to step forward is no longer a simple question of technology, but one of philosophy. The Solari, those who seek to embrace the planet with a gentle hand, gather in the high towers of their capital. They look out over the solar farms that dot their landscapes and the wind turbines that rise along their coasts, each symbolizing their vision of harmony with the natural world. Their voices are fervent, filled with a sense of duty. They believe the future of Nythoria should be one of coexistence, not dominance. They argue that in using the planet's resources mindfully, they respect the home that sustains them. Their leader, a young philosopher named Alice Valen, speaks before the council with a conviction that radiates throughout the room. If we truly wish to progress, it must be in a way that honors our origins, she says, her voice measured yet resolute. Let us not fall into the trap of taking from Nythoria more than it willingly offers. This planet has nourished us, and it is our duty to ensure it flourishes alongside our ambitions. Her words are met with applause by many and quiet contemplation by others. But not everyone in the chamber is convinced. Across the city, in a sleek building that hums with the energy of machinery and laboratories, the Paragon faction gathers. They are engineers, scientists, and strategists, a coalition of minds unburdened by what they see as the sentimentality of the Solari. To them, the Solari's vision is admirable, but naive. They argue that Nythoria's survival may depend not on preserving its landscapes, but on using every resource available to fortify their position in an unknown universe. Their leader, Marin Chorus, is a seasoned scientist whose work has saved thousands of lives through advancements in medicine and technology. He steps forward, his face calm, but his eyes intense. "We are on the brink of greatness," he addresses the crowd, his voice a resonant bass that commands attention. "If we limit ourselves to only what is sustainable, we risk stagnation. The universe is vast, indifferent, and full of civilizations who have no such qualms. We must be ready, or we may fall behind before we have even begun." Chorus's words strike a different chord, one of pragmatism, perhaps of fear. He urges the Paragon to imagine a future where Nythoria's progress is unhindered by caution. His vision is one where energy flows in boundless torrents, fueling industries, technologies, and defenses that could propel them into an era of power, unassailable. To Chorus and his followers, the future of Nythoria lies not in measured steps, but in leaps. As the Solari and Paragon press their cases, an undercurrent of tension ripples across the planet. Citizens find themselves choosing sides, conversations in public squares turn into impassioned debates, and friends part ways over their conflicting visions. Even Nythoria's leaders, usually united, now wear expressions of worry and fatigue, knowing that the rift between these two factions may not easily heal. Amidst this charged atmosphere, the probe from the stars remains in orbit, a silent spectator to the turmoil it has unwittingly amplified. Scientists from both factions have assembled to study it, each hoping that whatever secrets it holds will validate their cause. As they decipher fragments of its data, new questions arise. The probe appears to contain knowledge, but it is locked behind a code so intricate that it will take the combined efforts of Nythoria's finest minds to unlock it. But there is more. The probe's exterior bears markings, faded but unmistakable, of a civilization advanced far beyond Nythoria. To the Solari, these markings are a sign that advanced civilizations can exist in peace with the universe, choosing to explore rather than exploit. The Paragon sees something else, evidence that these beings possess technologies and defenses beyond anything Nythoria has imagined. And so, the probe becomes both a hope and a threat, a promise of connection to something greater, and a reminder of how vulnerable Nythoria truly is. In each faction's gaze, I see something reflected back, wonder mixed with ambition, curiosity tempered by trepidation. Through it all, I remain watchful. I have seen civilizations pass through such moments, some that flourished, some that crumbled. For Nythoria, this is a pivotal chapter, one that will shape not only how they wield their newfound power, but how they define themselves as a people. Will they seek to preserve the beauty of their world, nurturing it with a reverent hand, or will they embrace the full might of their capabilities, preparing for a universe that may not wait for them to catch up? As night falls over the capital, the glow of the solar farms flickers gently on the horizon. It is the soft glow of possibility, the promise of energy without end, but also the weight of responsibility, which for now remains unresolved. In the silence, I continue my vigil, wondering which light they will follow into their future. Chapter 3. The Silent Messenger. The probe hovers above Nythoria, spinning silently in the twilight skies, its presence a stark reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond their world. To some, it is a beacon of hope. To others, a harbinger of potential danger. For all Nythorians, though, it has become an undeniable symbol of their arrival at a turning point. In this quiet, silver vessel, The factions of Solari and Paragon both see reflections of their ideals, a testament to the stars that Solari yearn to understand, and an unyielding shield for Paragon, who view the probe as a reminder of galactic survival. As I, the Boltzmann Brain, observe their debates and fears, I find myself drawn into the complexities of their unfolding story. Like the civilizations I have watched rise and fall before them, the Nythorians must navigate the challenge of choosing how they will respond to the unknown. This probe is their first connection to an advanced civilization, one that has already traversed the stars, mastered technologies they are only beginning to fathom. And in this first contact, they are left with only questions, no answers. In the laboratories and think tanks of Nythoria's capital, scientists and engineers from both factions assemble to unlock the probe's secrets. Over days and nights, the device is studied, each surface scanned, each intricate marking catalogued, and each faint pulse of energy measured. Though the probe offers no words, no signals, its existence speaks volumes. The Nythorians know they are not alone. This knowledge, more than anything else, has kindled an urgency within both factions, driving them further down their divergent paths. Alice Valen, leader of the Solari, stands before her team, their faces lit by the dim blue light emitted from the probe. To her, this object from the cosmos represents something sacred, a proof that civilizations may reach across the void, not as conquerors, but as explorers. She believes that this message from another world is an invitation to embrace harmony, to expand without domination, to pursue knowledge without falling into the trap of relentless ambition. In one of their closed meetings, Alice speaks with quiet conviction. "This is the proof we needed," she says to her closest advisors. "A civilization beyond ours, advanced enough to traverse the stars, yet peaceful enough to extend a hand. They reached us, not with weapons, but with knowledge. Isn't this a sign that there is more to aspire to than mere strength?" Her words ring through the room, resonating with her supporters who see in the probe a vision of the future they long to embrace. The probe's energy signatures, they argue, reveal a level of efficiency that aligns with their own ideals, its signals low impact, its materials almost organic in their adaptability. To them it embodies the dream of progress without destruction. But in the corridors of the Paragon, Marin Corris and his team view the probe with a more skeptical eye. Corris, driven by his background in science and strategy, believes the probe's silence is its loudest message. For him, it is evidence of the isolation each civilization faces, an isolation that will not be bridged by good intentions alone. He studies the probe's metallic surface, feeling a chill that has nothing to do with its cold exterior. This object, he tells his team, was not sent as an invitation. It's a reminder. The galaxy is full of mysteries and dangers, and only those prepared to meet them can survive. Look at it. It is a machine built to last, created by a species advanced enough to send it across unimaginable distances. We must be ready to confront the unknown with equal strength. To Paragon, the probe represents the cold reality of the cosmos, one that demands a civilization protect itself at all costs. They believe the Nythorians must harness every available resource, every technological advantage, to avoid being vulnerable to the unknown. For them, this message from the stars isn't an invitation, but a warning, urging them to advance and defend themselves. As the weeks pass, tensions rise between the two factions. Scientists on both sides have made progress decoding the probe's language. and they have begun to uncover fragments of what appears to be a message. Each decoded phrase adds fuel to the ongoing debates, as leaders and citizens alike argue over how to interpret the alien words. The Solari and Paragon cling to their interpretations, each convinced the probe affirms their vision of Nythoria's future. In the early hours of the morning, a breakthrough occurs. Alice and Maren, accompanied by their closest advisors, gather in the capital's great hall. The decoded message is revealed to be a single line, one that leaves both factions stunned. In our journey, we found light within and darkness beyond. May you find what we could not. The words hang in the air, stirring thoughts of hope, fear, and the unknown. The Solari see in this message a reflection of their ideals, finding the light within as a metaphor for sustainable inward growth. To them, the darkness beyond represents the dangers of reckless ambition and unchecked power, a warning to Nythoria not to repeat the mistakes of civilizations before them. But to Paragon, the message is more ominous. They believe it serves as a testament to the struggles that lie ahead, a forewarning of the threats lurking in the dark reaches of space. To them, finding light within is only half the journey. True survival lies in being prepared for the perils that civilization will inevitably face. As the Nythorians process this message, their world teeters on the edge of division. The Solari urge restraint, advocating that Nythoria proceed with caution, grounding their expansion in sustainability and unity. Paragon pushes forward, warning that only by mastering their resources and building defenses can they face the challenges that may come from beyond. And I, the Boltzmann Brain, watch as they stand at this crossroads. Their future lies in the balance, shaped by the choices they make now in response to a silent messenger from the stars. The probe has stirred their aspirations and their fears, but it is they who must decide what path to walk. As the stars rise over Nythoria, casting their soft glow on the world below, I am left to wonder. Will they find unity in purpose, or will they fracture under the weight of their ambitions? The galaxy waits, as silent as the probe itself, bearing witness to a decision that will echo for generations to come. Chapter 4. The Fracture. Beneath the vast expanse of starlit sky, Nythoria stands at the edge of something both thrilling and perilous. The arrival of the probe has brought them knowledge, yet also the chilling realization that they are not alone, that other civilizations have grappled with the same questions, faced the same darkness. But where others might see this shared cosmic struggle as a call to unity, on Nythoria, it has driven an ever-widening wedge. I, the Boltzmann Brain, observe as tensions mount across the planet. It is a scene I have witnessed countless times before. A species on the verge of greatness, caught between the light of idealism and the shadow of pragmatism. Their leaders, Alice Valen of the Solari and Maren Chorus of Paragon, embody these opposing ideals, and where once they were colleagues and friends, they now stand as rivals, each leading a faction that grows increasingly resolute. The Solari, under Alice's guidance, gather in open fields and verdant valleys, places where the sun's warmth is palpable, and where nature itself seems to bless their vision. They speak of a future where Nythoria is bound not by chains of dominance, but by threads of harmony. They imagine cities powered by renewable energies, forests preserved even as they expand, and resources shared freely in a unified society. The probe's message, to them, is a call to protect what they have and seek peace with the unknown. One evening, Alice addresses a gathering of thousands, her voice carrying across the field like a current of soft light. "We must remember," she says, her eyes steady on the crowd, "that our strength lies within. The probe speaks of a darkness beyond, but that darkness exists only if we let it in. We do not need endless conquest to flourish. We only need one another and the will to honor the world that has given us life." The crowd erupts in applause, and for a moment it feels as though Nythoria might indeed choose this path of restraint. But in the distant halls of the Paragon, where steel and glass glint coldly under artificial lights, Marincoris prepares his own message. To him, Alice's vision is noble but blind. The galaxy, he argues, is not a place that will wait patiently for Nythoria's enlightenment. Strength, speed, and vigilance are the qualities that will ensure their survival, not the pacifism Alice champions. In one of Paragon's fortified chambers, Marin stands before a gathering of engineers, military advisors, and scientists, his expression grave. "We cannot ignore the reality that lies beyond our borders," he says, his voice carrying a note of warning. "The probe speaks of finding light within, but what happens when the darkness comes to us? Unbidden? We must be ready to defend our world, our people, and our future. To live in hope alone is to ignore the lessons of the universe." His followers nod in agreement, their faces hard with determination. They see themselves as the shield that will protect Nythoria, the edge that will allow them to meet the unknown on equal footing. The Paragon begins drafting plans for vast energy networks that can power advanced defenses, planetary shields, and even exploratory spacecraft. To them, the probe is not just a warning, but a challenge to conquer the very forces that might threaten them. Days pass, and the division between Solari and Paragon begins to show on a planetary scale. Cities take sides, each marked by the energy sources they choose to develop. The Solari expand their solar farms, their wind turbines, their geothermal generators, each installation a testament to their dedication to low-impact, sustainable energy. But Paragon cities grow differently, building towering reactors, prototypes of planetary shields, and the beginnings of advanced military technology that they say will one day rival those of the civilizations they may encounter in the stars. At night, Nythoria glows in divided hues, the soft scattered light of Solari's solar farms in one region, and the piercing neon of Paragon's reactors in another. Even the skies, once a symbol of their shared existence, now reflect the schism below, as artificial satellites launched by Paragon blink like cold stars in their vigilant orbit. Tensions begin to spill into the public sphere. In marketplaces and public squares, citizens from both factions argue, their voices filled with passion and resentment. Some speak of peace, of unity, of honoring Nythoria's natural beauty, while others retort with warnings of naivete, insisting that Alice's vision would leave them defenseless. Friendships break, families are divided, and even the youngest among them begin to feel the weight of this planetary divide. In the midst of this mounting discord, Alice reaches out to Marin. She knows that they must find common ground, that Nythoria's strength lies in its unity. She proposes a meeting, one held in the halls of the capital itself, under the dome of the Starsight Chamber, a place where their ancestors once gathered to study the night sky and wonder at what lay beyond. She hopes that by standing under the stars, they might remember the dream that first united them, the dream of reaching for the heavens, not as conquerors, but as seekers of knowledge. The meeting is tense. Alice and Marin face each other, their expressions weary yet resolute. Between them stands the artifact that catalyzed this divide, the probe, now partially decoded, its surface etched with fragments of an alien civilization's hopes and fears. Alice gestures to the probe, her voice calm but pleading. "Marin," she begins, "we both want what is best for Nythoria. But if we allow this to drive us apart, we risk becoming our own worst enemy. The probe's message warns of darkness, yes, but it also speaks of light. Can we not find that light together? Must we choose between peace and strength?" Marin's gaze is steady, but his tone is unyielding. "Alice, I respect your vision, but to pretend we can thrive on ideals alone is dangerous. The light you speak of is meaningless if we are unprepared to face the realities beyond our atmosphere. We cannot afford to be gentle in a galaxy that may be anything but." They argue, their voices rising, each point met with a counterpoint, every plea answered with a refusal. Alice implores him to consider the legacy they are building, a future rooted in harmony with their world. Marin warns that harmony alone cannot protect them from what lies in the stars. And so, the meeting ends, not in agreement, but in a silent acknowledgement that neither will yield. The fracture between Solari and Paragon deepens. Alice returns to her followers with the grim news, her expression etched with sorrow, yet her resolve strengthened. She knows the path ahead will be difficult, that they may have to live with the consequences of division. But she holds on to the hope that, one day, the Paragon might see the wisdom in her vision. Meanwhile, Marin gathers his advisors, his tone hard, his words sharpened by the conviction that he is doing what must be done. He instructs his engineers to accelerate the development of their defenses, to prepare Nythoria for a future that will not wait for them to make up their minds. As the two leaders depart, I, the Boltzmann Brain, sense the weight of their decisions hanging heavily over Nythoria. I have seen such fractures before, divisions that have brought civilizations to ruin or to strength, paths that have led to enlightenment or devastation. For the Nythorians, the question remains, will they find unity in time, or will this rift become an unbridgeable chasm? Above them, the stars shine on, indifferent and eternal, bearing silent witness to the choices they will make and the consequences that will follow. And I remain, watching, wondering if they, like so many before them, will find the light within or be consumed by the darkness beyond. As we leave the fractured world of Nythoria behind, we are reminded that the decisions of a civilization are as complex and fragile as the stars themselves. The Solari and Paragon factions each embody a different response to the cosmic unknown, one of cautious harmony, the other of bold preparation. Their journey speaks to all who strive to understand the delicate balance between embracing the light within and confronting the darkness beyond. In the end, Nythoria's fate remains unwritten, shaped by each choice they make. And perhaps, as we reflect on their path, we can glimpse the challenges that lie ahead for us, here on Earth. Thank you for joining us on Cosmic Conversations, where we continue to explore the boundless and profound questions that connect us to the universe and to each other.